Hello, my friend. This is Walter. Welcome to Daily English Podcast, where learning English becomes a daily habit of growth, reflection, and calm focus. Every episode is an invitation to slow down, listen with intention, and connect, not just with English, but with yourself. Today, I want to ask you something. Have you ever felt trapped inside your own mind? Like your thoughts keep spinning in circles, even when there's nothing new to think about? That quiet storm inside, that's what we call overthinking. It's not just thinking too much, it's thinking in circles, revisiting the same worry again and again, searching for control where none can be found. Overthinking can feel safe because it gives you the illusion of doing something. But it's really a form of mental noise, a way of avoiding the truth that some things are uncertain, and that's okay. In this episode, we'll explore what overthinking truly is, why it steals your peace, and how to gently step out of that endless loop. Because peace doesn't come from more thinking, it comes from trust, acceptance, and returning to the present moment. So what exactly is overthinking? It's when your mind keeps turning the same idea over, trying to find answers that don't exist yet. You might replay a conversation, imagine every possible outcome, or analyze what could go wrong. It feels like control, but it's really the opposite. It's your brain stuck in a loop of fear. Overthinking is like running on a treadmill. You move a lot, but you never actually go anywhere. The more you think, the more unsure you feel. It becomes exhausting. You lose focus, your body tenses up, and small problems start to feel huge. What makes it tricky is that thinking itself isn't bad. Reflection helps us grow. But overthinking isn't reflection, it's rumination. It's when thinking becomes repetitive, heavy, and full of self-doubt. The key is to notice when your thoughts stop being helpful. When they start repeating instead of resolving, it's time to pause. Because peace doesn't come from solving every question. It comes from knowing when to stop asking them. Why does overthinking feel so tiring? Because it burns energy without creating clarity. Your mind becomes like a computer with too many tabs open. Everything slows down. You lose focus, your creativity fades, and even small choices start to feel difficult. Overthinking steals time that could be spent living. It turns moments of rest into silent battles. When you're lost in your thoughts, you're not really here. You're somewhere in the past, replaying what you can't change, or somewhere in the future, fearing what hasn't happened yet. And this distance, between where your body is and where your mind is where anxiety grows. The more you think, the less you feel connected. You stop trusting your instincts because you've built a wall of noise between your heart and your actions. So the first step to peace is to recognize the cost of mental loops. They may feel protective, but they're actually what's keeping you from peace, presence, and flow. What fuels overthinking? Often, it's fear. Fear of mistakes, fear of judgment, fear of losing control. When we don't trust ourselves, our minds try to fill the gap with constant analysis. We think that if we plan enough, predict enough, or understand everything, we'll be safe. But life doesn't work like that. No amount of thinking can remove all uncertainty. Fear feeds on what we can't control, and overthinking is its favorite hiding place. The mind tells you that one more thought will bring safety, but that's a lie. Each extra thought only adds to the weight you carry. The truth is, courage isn't the absence of fear, it's the willingness to move even when fear is present. And trust, real trust, means letting go of the illusion of control. When you can say, "I don't know, but I'll handle it when it comes," you begin to set yourself free. That's where calm begins, not when you control life, but when you stop fighting its flow. How can you begin to quiet your mind? Start by naming what's happening. When you feel your thoughts racing, pause and say to yourself, "I'm overthinking right now." Simple but powerful. Naming brings awareness, and awareness brings distance. It helps you see that you are not your thoughts. You're the one watching them. You can even describe them more precisely. This is a worry about the future, or this is guilt about the past. By putting words to your thoughts, you turn them into something you can observe instead of something that controls you. It's like shining a light on a shadow. Once you see it clearly, it loses its power. The goal isn't to push thoughts away, it's to stop being swallowed by them. Because the moment you notice your mind spinning, you've already taken the first step toward calm. Awareness is the beginning of peace. Have you ever noticed how thoughts feel smaller once they're on paper? Writing helps translate the noise in your head into something real, visible, and manageable. When you write your worries down, they stop swirling endlessly in your mind. You can see them, question them, and choose what to do next. This simple act of writing, even a few lines, can give your brain permission to rest. It's no longer responsible for holding every unfinished thought. You can write freely, without structure. Just let the words flow until you feel lighter. Sometimes, clarity appears naturally in the space that writing creates. You might realize that half your worries don't even need solving. Others become smaller once you name them. Writing is a quiet conversation with yourself, one that replaces confusion with understanding and pressure with relief. So the next time you feel stuck in thought, grab a pen. Let the page carry what your mind no longer needs to hold. When the mind is stuck, move the body. It's simple but deeply effective. Overthinking traps your energy in your head. Walking, stretching, or breathing releases it. You don't have to run or do anything intense. Just get up, feel your feet touch the ground, notice your breath. Movement reminds your body that life is happening now, not inside your thoughts. When you move, your attention shifts from thinking to sensing, from mental noise to physical reality. This breaks the loop gently, without effort. Even a short walk can change how your mind feels. It brings perspective, balance, and calm. The body has its own intelligence, one that doesn't use words or logic. It simply grounds you back into the present. So the next time you feel caught in endless thought, don't fight it with more thought. Move, breathe. Let the world around you remind you that peace is always here, waiting in your body, not your mind. Why does breathing help? Because breath is the bridge between mind and body. When you focus on your breathing, you're training your attention to stay in the present. Overthinking lives in the past and future, but the breath lives only now. Try this. Inhale slowly through your nose. Hold for a moment, then exhale gently. Notice how your body softens. You can't overthink and breathe with awareness at the same time. Conscious breathing gives your mind a rhythm to follow, a steady, calming pattern that quiets the noise. Each slow breath tells your nervous system that you're safe. It shifts your body from stress to rest, and in that space, your thoughts naturally lose their grip. Breathing isn't a magic cure, but it's a practice, a reminder that you can return home to yourself at any moment. Peace begins with something as simple and as human as a single breath. Why is it so hard to stop overthinking? Because control feels comforting. The mind believes that if it thinks enough, it can predict the future, prevent pain, and make everything safe. But that belief is false. Control is a story we tell ourselves to feel less afraid. The truth is, most of life isn't under our control. Other people's choices, timing, the weather, outcomes. What we can control is our attention, our response, and the meaning we give to things. The rest must be trusted. Letting go of control isn't weakness, it's wisdom. It's understanding that life flows better when we stop trying to force it. When you let go, you don't lose safety, you gain freedom. You stop fighting reality and start working with it. That's when calm returns, not because everything is perfect, but because you've stopped resisting what is. How do you begin to trust yourself? Start small. Trust that you can handle discomfort, that you can make decisions without knowing every outcome, that you don't need every answer to move forward. Overthinking comes from self-doubt, from believing your thoughts more than your instincts. But deep down, you already know what feels right. You just need to listen. The more you act on your quiet inner knowing, the stronger your trust becomes. And with trust comes peace. You no longer need to think through every possibility because you know you'll face whatever happens with strength and calm. Trust isn't something you find overnight. It's something you build through practice, presence, and self-compassion. Each time you make a choice without overanalyzing, you tell your mind, "I can handle this." That's how confidence grows, not from control, but from courage. Can you ever stop overthinking completely? Maybe not, but you can learn to turn down the volume. The goal isn't to silence your mind, it's to create space between you and your thoughts. You can let them pass, like clouds moving across the sky. You don't need to follow everyone. With time, you learn which thoughts deserve attention and which can drift away. Overthinking becomes less powerful when you stop believing every thought is true. Some are just noise, fear, habit, or imagination. The mind loves movement, but you can teach it to rest. You can remind it that calm is not the absence of thought, but the ability to watch thought without being carried away. That's real mastery, not control, but gentle awareness. Letting go sounds simple, but it's one of the hardest things we do. We hold on because we want certainty, closure, or understanding, but life doesn't always give us that. Letting go means accepting that not everything needs a perfect answer. It means releasing the need to fix, prove, or explain. When you let go, you make space. Space for peace, for stillness, for new insight. You begin to notice that calm isn't something you chase. It's something that appears when you stop holding on so tightly. Each time you let a thought go without chasing it, you strengthen your peace. You show your mind that safety doesn't come from knowing, but from allowing. And in that quiet space, you find freedom, not from thought itself, but from its grip. A quiet mind doesn't mean an empty one. It means a mind that knows when to think and when to rest. You'll still plan, reflect, and imagine, but with balance. You'll start noticing the difference between helpful thought and harmful thought. Helpful thoughts guide you, bring clarity, and end in action. Harmful ones loop endlessly, feeding worry without solution. Over time, you'll learn to choose peace over noise. You'll notice the moment your thoughts begin to spiral and gently guide them back, not with force, but with kindness. Living with a quieter mind isn't about perfection. It's about awareness, patience, and care. The goal isn't silence, but serenity, a calm confidence that you can think, feel, and let go, all in their right time. What does peace sound like? It's not loud or dramatic, it's soft, steady, patient. Peace is the quiet voice that says, "You're okay, right here." It's the language of trust. Trust in yourself, in the process, in life's natural rhythm. When you begin to speak to yourself with gentleness, your mind follows. The words you use shape your experience. If you fill your thoughts with pressure and perfection, peace can't stay. But if you choose kindness, peace grows naturally. Learning English, like learning calm, takes time. It's not about rushing to mastery. It's about daily connection, steady practice, gentle attention. When you treat your inner world with that same care, everything becomes lighter, including thought. So where does all this lead? To stillness, not empty silence, but calm presence. The end of overthinking isn't the end of thought. It's the beginning of peace with thought. You start to see your mind as a tool, not a trap. You think when needed, rest when not, and trust that you'll handle life as it comes. The circle breaks, and in its place, there's space, room for clarity, connection, and calm. As we close today, take one slow breath. Feel the air move in and out. That simple act is a reminder. You are here, now, alive, and safe. The mind may wander, but peace is always one breath away. This is Walter. Thank you for listening to Daily English Podcast. Until next time, stay calm, stay kind, and keep coming home to yourself.